The Alinghi Red Bull America's Cup team took their new boat out last week, and they had a day to remember. They were hit by a Barcelona weather bomb. This is their chilling report.
It was the first day for us to put the boat out with the mast and hoisting the sails. It was a really good day for us for the sailing system. We could check all the hardware and logics and system, and the sail fit well. Everything was rolling well, so useful and good lesson learned there with the sails.
We get hit by a huge squall. Then the wind pressure went up a little bit more and the boat gently knocked down on the side. Once the squall went up, we towed the boat back to the shore, and thanks to the crew, thanks to the sailing team, thanks to the support team who did a great job, keeping the boat safe.
Now we're back in the shed, and the short crew is doing everything to get us back on the water as soon as possible.
At the end, the team saw almost the worst thing that can happen, and everybody jumped out safe out of it, So in one sense, we're also confident, for the future. We're going to take the lessons to avoid such of things, of course, but we know if it happens for any reason, we know what to do.
This the weekly Sailing World on Water, September 9, 2022. Highlights in the sport of sailing in the last 7 days. While doing a dock walk in the Golden Globe Marina, organizer Don McIntyre spoke about one of the other upcoming round-the-world races, the 2024 Mini Globe, and he has 15 entrants registered so far. The boats are a third of the size of a Vendee Globe IMOCA 60s.
Oh, that's tracker. Oh, what's this about? Oh, I wonder.
I need to put it in front of the gimbal. I don't know how.
No, it's okay.
No, it's too difficult. You need to be.
This is my little boat. I sailed it across the solo across the Atlantic last year in the Globe 580 Transat. It's a plywood home-built boat. I had a friend build part of it, and then we finished it. It's a cool little boat, so you can even see tracker. We might even let you inside. And there's a mini globe race around the world race starting in 24. So that's little tracker, 19 foot, 5.8 meters, a lot of fun. No, the boat is very small and just it's only 19 feet long. There it is, 5.8 meters. But yeah, we've got 15 entries already for the mini globe race, and going to be quite an event. So coming right along here, I've got to turn this around here. We've also got. There's a big hole here, and we're waiting for Gypsy Moth to arrive. She'll be part of the start line. She's coming in any day. Had a full refit. That's Sir Francis Chichester's boat. So when she arrives, we'll show you all about that. This is another one. This is a local Lionel Regnier, the Spirit Equip, which is entered in the Ocean Globe Races, another event that we're involved with. Fully crewed race around the world in the spirit of the original Whitbread races, and we'll be celebrating the 50th anniversary of that next year. That starts.
The opening exchanges of the 32nd Maxi-Yacht Rolex Cup have reinforced the event's reputation as an impressive gathering of sailing power and prowess. From the traditional designs of the J-Class, through the all-carbon Mini Maxi and Maxi Racers, the thunderous Supermaxis, to the ultimate innovation of the first-ever foiling Maxi, the 2022 fleet is a true demonstration of what makes large yacht racing so compelling.
Spectacular yachts, stunning scenery, passionate owners, and the cream of professional sailing talent. The perfect recipe for a world-class regatta. The Maxi-Yacht Rolex Cup 2022. As a yacht club, Costa Smeralda celebrates 50 years of hosting top international competition in Porto-Cervo, Sardinia. One of the most exceptional fleets in Maxi-Yacht Rolex Cup history has gathered to mark this special occasion. The diversity and range of the 50-strong fleet is truly remarkable. From the tradition of the 4 magnificent J-class yachts with their massive crews.
It's a big squad, and I think that's one of the big challenges, and I think all the teams are doing an excellent job.
To the innovation of the world's first foiling Mini Maxi, Roberto Lacorte's Flying Nicker, the Maxi class continues to push the boundaries.
Sailing is going through a historical time right now of innovation. It's not just a boat race anymore, it's a boat show of what's new and what's possible, so it's fantastic for all of us.
It is also a showcase for design, as echoed by the launch of the new Club Swan 80 My Song, and performance, as seen across the Mini Maxi racer fleet. But ultimately all are here for a week of yacht racing at its very best.
We are in a paradise here. Porto-Cervo is one of the best places, a beautiful yacht club, a great organization. This is what all the owners want.
Add to this the competitive spirit of the world's top sailors, and the scene is set for a truly memorable week. Join us again for more updates from the Maxi-Yacht Rolex Cup 2022.
Emotions ran high as family and friends bid farewell to 16 skippers setting out from La Sab d'Olonne on one of the most grueling challenges on the planet. The Golden Globe race is a solo, non-stop voyage, sailing small 32 to 36 feet, old-fashioned yachts without technology and no assistance. Following years of intense preparations and safety checks, the thought of 9 months of total isolation, with only high-frequency radios to speak with family, was daunting. The people of La Sab d'Olonne were present in high numbers to cheer the G.G.R competitors, and in the 2 weeks of the race village, which drew 5,000 visitors per day. Thousands lined the wall along the mythical channel of Sab d'Olonne where classic and historic yachts, competitors of the Golden Globe race, traditional Olanois yachts, and local yachts, paraded towards the start line. The skippers were ready to go following years of preparations. It was time. The starting line was between Tapio Lettinen Swan 55, Galliana, and El Esprit d'Equite, of local skipper Lionel Regnier, both Ocean Globe race entrants. The official start vessel was G.G.R, a French Navy training ship. The official starter was Sir Robin Knox Johnston, supported by the mayor, Yannick Moreau, and the founder of the G.G.R, Don McIntyre. Damien Guillou called race control this evening at 9:11 p.m. local time to report a problem with his hydrovane self-steering gear. While negotiating a 30-knot front, in 3 to 4 meter waves, he noticed a movement in his windvane rudder, threatening the attachment of the blade to the transom of his Rustler 36 PRB. Damien, who is not in danger and not requiring assistance, is heaving to for the night, his Rustler 36 behaving well in the heavy seas, and is considering his options for repair, as he can no longer use his windvane in these conditions without risking it being torn off. Meanwhile, the Bay of Biscay takes another G.G.R victim. At 13:51 hours UTC, Aton Biscards called Golden Globe Race Control to advise that the boat fell off a wave while he was working on deck. He fell into the cockpit, hit his head, and was knocked unconscious. He also injured his arm. He has phoned the G.G.R Medical SOS 24-hour telemedicine doctors, who are now monitoring the situation. Aton has altered course to make the boat comfortable, and intends to seek shelter on the coast to allow a full recovery. He hopes to find an anchorage rather than enter port to remain in the G.G.R. He has not requested any assistance, and is in full control of the boat. Meanwhile, Damien is returning to La Sable d'Olonne to effect repairs to his wind vane setup. He has an open window until the 11th of September to restart in the race. Wet weather is set to strike the east coast of Australia this week in a gloomy start to spring. Worse still, there's more to come. That was the headline in last Monday's newspapers in Australia. Roger Clouds Badham explains how the usually dry Salt Lake Gardner in South Australia became to be so wet, and how things are drying out.
The inland of South Australia is really one of the driest places on earth, but the last 2 years over all of Australia has been very, very wet after what was the driest period in Australia ever. So the pendulum's really gone from strong El Nino conditions to strong La Nina. But we also have what they call a negative Indian Ocean dipole, which is the same thing, but it's in the Indian Ocean. It's that warm Indian Ocean that feeds a lot of moisture into the fronts that are coming across from Western Australia. And earlier on in the year, there was a massive amount of rain that fell over inland parts of South Australia, and that really put a lot of water into the lake. It was quite outstanding. I mean, it's the sort of thing that occurs every 20 or 30 years, and it was very slow to move away. So the rain just poured out across the whole desert area, and unfortunately the dry lakes and the salt lake. It's mostly dried out, but there's still some water down in the southern part. With 100 to 200 millimetres of evaporation a month, theoretically the lake can dry within 4 weeks. It just takes time, and it's very frustrating sort of just watching and seeing another front with a little bit of moisture and a little bit of shower activity coming towards the lake. You wish it and you will it to just bypass. But at this time of the year, this is ideal. We get some northerlies and southerlies to have a go at. You just want a nice dry, crisp, salt surface, and you're away.
French skipper Paul Miat will fulfill a lifelong dream in January 2023, when he leads his IMOCA 60 biotherm across the starting line of the ocean race on the waters of Alicante, Spain. Paul and his team will be racing one of the newest IMOCA boats in the fleet, a Verdee design that is expected to compete for the title in the Ocean Race 2022-23, before Paul will go on to sail in the next edition of the single-handed Vendee Globe.
Like a sister ship of Linked Out, but I'm really happy because I think Linked Out is a really good boat. But we did some modification, like it's a new force design, it's a new bow, like the bow is more curved to go faster, I hope, in a downwind condition. We changed the rudder systems and also the coach roof. We don't have a lot of time because next week is a Défi Azimut, so it's like a warm-up of the ocean race, because actually the 5 entries of the ocean race will be raced together, so it's amazing. And after I have to do my qualification for the Route du Rhum. It's a 1,200 miles single hand, and just after I think I have 2 weeks to prepare the Route du Rhum. So, but I'm pretty confident because the boat is strong, and after the Route du Rhum we will deliver the boat straight to Alicante in December, and to have a big check before the round the world. The idea was to make compromise, to have half of the crew with like French spirit and IMOCA experience, and the other part like international guys from different backgrounds, Olympic Games, America's Cup, and maybe more match racing and maybe more ocean race atmosphere. And I think, yeah, it's pretty good crew with a good atmosphere together, like with French Damien Seguin, Anthony Marchand, Amélie, and Giulio Bertelli, Italian, and Mariana from Portugal. So no, I think it will be really interesting. They will come for Défi Azimut. So we're going to start to train, and we probably will announce more crew in the following week or months.
A splendid sunny day, and 5 more races in medium winds brought the M32 European Championships, the 4th and final stage of the European circuit of the class, organized by Fraglia Villariva, to a close on Garda Trentino. As expected, it was a hard-fought final, especially for second and third place, as the Dutch of Blick SEM won by a margin of 10 points. Redemption of the Italian Andrea Lacorte on Vitamina Veloce, who after a negative day on Saturday, managed to climb up the ranking by 1 position, confirming his second place overall, and winning the overall classification of the European circuit after the 4 stages held in 2022. In third place by a single point was China 1, Ningbo. Once again, the logistic base offered by Fraglia Villariva proved to be an excellent solution for this type of catamaran, and their teams, who found the necessary spaces. Leg 3 of La Solitaire du Figaro was from Port La Fort to Royann, a total of 643 miles. True to the forecast before the start of Stage 2, the winds had died away since the afternoon before the start, leaving very light airs for the race start day. Here are the start and finish videos.
Il y a peut-être un peu plus de stress qu'à la première étape, du fait de ma position de leader actuelle, mais je pars encore détendu, serein, et je vais continuer à naviguer en me faisant plaisir, et puis on verra ce que ça donne. Voilà.
Content d'y retourner déjà, un peu fatigué encore, mais hâte d'y être. Ça va être une étape musclée, mais bon, c'est pareil pour tout le monde, donc on est là pour ça.
I've never done it before. I'm very new in the class, so I don't know what is expecting me. So that's probably why I'm not so super nervous about it, because I've never had this much wind.
En fait, c'est jamais fini jusqu'à la fin de la dernière étape. Donc, il ne faut jamais perdre l'esprit. Tu peux facilement gagner des heures, mais facilement perdre des heures aussi. Donc, ça, c'est le même pour tout le monde. On est tous dans le même bateau.
Attention pour l'arrivée de région Normandie pour cette deuxième étape de la Solitaire Figaro 2022 à Royan. Arrivée de région Normandie.
Ouais, super content. Moi, je sais au fond de moi que j'en suis capable. Après, c'est autre chose de le faire, de réussir à le faire. Donc, voilà, j'étais dans le coup depuis le début. Après, on voit sur toutes les étapes à chaque fois qu'il y a beaucoup de changements de leader, que ça revient par derrière. Donc, c'est toujours un peu compliqué, mais voilà, j'ai rien lâché jusqu'au bout. Et il va falloir faire pareil sur la troisième.
Ah bah vraiment il a un super goût celui-là parce que je me suis allé vraiment le chercher très très loin ce podium là sur cette étape parce qu'elle était dure, très complète, très variée avec encore des retournements de situation, des regroupements et j'ai passé toute la majeure partie de la flotte dans les 3 à 4 premiers. Donc ça aurait été dur de ne pas y accéder et là je suis allé vraiment aller le chercher notamment hier dans la molle donc je suis vraiment trop content et la bataille avec Guillaume était super sympa cette nuit en plus donc voilà. Un magnifique vainqueur.
Bah ouais c'est bien non en tout cas celle-là fallait pas la rater. Enfin, là il y a du grabuge derrière. Il y a un peu de temps avec les concurrents sérieux du classement général donc c'était pas mal. Maintenant il reste une grande étape, un aller-retour dans le golfe de Gascogne, je veux dire. Quand on voit ce qui s'est passé jusque-là, il n'y a rien de fait du tout.
On n'a jamais eu de pause en fait, on a eu 12 heures de baston et après direct dans le pétrole. C'était manœuvre, changement de voile, réfléchir à la stratégie, chef des allures et tout. J'entends des voix dans le bateau.
We have a very interesting IMOCA 60 foiling yacht boat tour, which concentrates on the rotating mast. Pip Hare on Medallia explains how all IMOCA masts are the same and they can be adjusted.
The mast on Medallia is a one design mast, so that means that after the year 2012, Class IMOCA, the class that governs these Open 60 race boats, made a decision that every boat that was designed and built should have the same mast, so it's a limitation on design. It's a rotating mast, so it's a wing mast, and what that means is that it allows the mast and sail combination to be more aerodynamic. So the shape of the mast is more oval. If you're looking down on it, it's more like a teardrop. And the mast itself will rotate. So underneath here, it sits on a ball joint. And these ropes here allow me to pull the mast one way or the other, which means that I can always minimize the turbulence effects that the mast is creating on the sail behind it. Now I have a mast sensor which will tell me what angle the mast is at, and that's quite crucial because that then tells me what angle the wind is at. If for some reason that mast sensor doesn't work, then I can manually input that, and on the deck here we've got some little dots which tell me whether the mast is at centre, 5, 10, 15 degrees, and that allows me to manually input that factor.